Okay, great. So I'm going to start to share my screen. I would like you to please confirm if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay, great.
Yes, we can.
Thank you very much. So, like I said, my name is Adetom, and just a minute, I want to make it real wide. Yes, great. So the screen is so I'm the founding partner of Sterling Foundation Estates. I'm an estate surveyor and valuer, an associate of the Nigerian Association of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, and I'm also a facility management professional. Now, so basically, like I said before, our desire is to create wealth for our clients through real estate investment opportunities. Now we noticed that a lot of Nigerians in diaspora desire to own homes back in their home country. But one of the major challenges they have is trust issues. I hear so many stories and I get heartbroken about it. Apart from the economic reason for being an estate surveyor, I really desire that people get value for what they intend to, what they invest their money in. Considering that real estate is a capital intensive, project, it should be taken, it should be done with caution. Now, one of the things that, so like I said, to make it a transparent process, we decided to align ourselves with this financial institution. And what we're working right now with Sterling Bank PLC, one of the foremost financial institutions in Nigeria. So maybe shortly after my talking, I'm going to be bringing on Ms. Shemi Yaya to tell us what Sterling Bank can do for all of us. So what we intend to do to make it a seamless process, you open an account with Sterling Bank with an app called Suite with Sterling. Now, when that account has been opened, you automatically are in control, of your funds and what you do, as opposed to sending money to friends and relatives back in Nigeria. You are able to do your thing. Our own assignment will be to align you with developers of repute. We'll profile them to ensure that what they are telling you that is being built is really what it is. Of course, number one thing is to check that the title is okay and is registrable, that they are constructing what they said they would as at when due, and also the quality of finish. Now, we're not going to leave you in the cold. After you've made that investment, we're also going to we're going to walk you through the process from end to finish. And if you now desire for us to, let and manage the property, or you want to speculate, we're just a one-stop shop to ensure that all your real estate desires happens. So basically this is targeted to Nigerians in diaspora, like I said. Now, why somebody would ask me, why are you pitching real estate and why Nigeria at this time? Of course, we know that real estate is one of the three basic needs of man. After food and clothing, you need shelter over your head. Now, with the pandemic, it has become more, it's inevitable that people need to have good homes. Now, working from home has become the order of the day. You see a lot of people, they really don't, pandemic made us to know how important having a roof over your head is. So we did a survey and noticed that there was a rapid increase in the rate at which in the demand for housing, even over the period, the last 3 years with the pandemic. And it's not just Nigeria alone, it's a global thing. So there's a lot of migration going on all over the world, so then especially residential homes. So we looked at the population. Why Nigeria? Nigeria has about 200 million people and is the most populous nation in Africa. Now, as the population continues to grow, so is the demand for housing. We know that a lot of people are migrating outside the country, or many more are coming in because of the potential and the opportunities they're seeing. So Nigeria is also a developing economy. So there's so much potential in terms of return on investment that you can get from when you invest in this economy. The other thing I can say, so we did like an annual inflation rate. If you look at African countries, Nigeria is number 3. You have Egypt, you have Ghana, you have Kenya, and Nigeria is in blue. So you can see how much that growth rate has occurred. Now, after this meeting, for as many as have registered for this event, I'm going to be sharing, the event, the slides with us. Now, if you didn't register, you can please share your email address in the chat room so that my associates can take note of it and ensure that you get the minutes of this meeting. So yes, I've talked about supply and demand for real estate. It's the demand outshoots the supply. Now, so like I said before, the challenges of home ownership is capital intensive, the bottlenecks in registration and poor quality of housing has been a major concern for most people. But then the Nigerian government is also not lying, they're not playing dead in this matter. So due to the scarcity of, the capital intensive nature, due to the cost and scarcity of land, home ownership is obviously capital intensive, but developers in Nigeria have gotten very creative to make it, reachable to many. They have a lot of off-plan developments going on, and people can pay at milestones. Now, the milestone thing also gives you room. It gives room for a growth on return on investment. I'll explain that as we go along. Now, the bottlenecks in title registration, you have past, C of those used to be hard copy, but now has gone digital. Then the Omoniles have been tackled as the government, Lagos State government at least has also set up a ministry that allows, that is a deterrent to any such acts, any menace of Omoniles. So it's a huge offense now for any Omonile to go and, take possession of people's land. It's not, people are getting jailed for that. Then the construction industry as well, in the past, about 2 years ago, we heard about a building in Ikoyi that collapsed and the Lagos State government rose to the occasion. So the ministry called Lagos State Building Control Agency, the principal in that ministry was first on he had to go on suspension and it was eventually removed. So it's a grievous, the ministry officials are taking it more seriously now because oil, Nigeria, for Lagos State, what oil is to Nigeria is what land is to Lagos State. So the government is not taking it serious at all. Now, I know that Nigerians in diaspora all don't want to invest in Lagos. You have people in Abuja. We all know that Abuja is a master plan city. There are so many other interesting places you have in the Southwest and the Southeast and so on and so forth. So basically, we're focusing on Nigeria as a whole, but of course, Lagos is the commercial name. So if you hear me say Lagos once in a while, that's why it is so. I recognize the fact that not everybody may want to be in Lagos. But Ogun State that is next to Lagos is also, experiencing a lot of growth. The infrastructure has, it's become really very good. Now, I'm not just saying these things. These are places that I go to. You think that, you're on the highway when you're in Ogun State. So they are beginning to put toll gates that links Lagos to Ogun, especially from the Ekwe axis. So why real estate? Why the interest in real estate at this time? It's a financial security. It's a source of passive income. It has capital appreciation, and of course, it's an asset for collateral anywhere in the world. So we've talked about, I made a summary of its financial securities that real estate is an edge against inflation. So right now, all over the world, the capital market is offering a lot of us very little. The interest rates are very low, but real estate appreciation is on the high. Passive income in the sense that, when you buy real estate, it can only appreciate, it won't depreciate. So whether you are doing anything actively or not, your money is growing. You have capital appreciation and you can also have rental income on your money. I've talked about the fact that it's a good asset for collateral. So anywhere in the world, real estate is it's a go-to for you in acquiring wealth. So what are the benefits for this home ownership we're talking about? So, through our organization, you are creating wealth for your future, seamless bottlenecks to acquire your home. Like I said, it's an end-to-end thing where a one-stop shop would assist you, point you in the right direction for the developers who have repute in Nigeria. The other thing is that even if you found a home on your own, we're able to go check for you to ensure that what you are trying buy is what, I mean, is worth your investment. You know, there's something called the principle of highest and best use. Location is very key in you making an investment. So you need to know where you are investing in, and we're able to advise you to do so. Even if we didn't locate the property for you, we're able to give you that advice. Now, another thing is the safety of your funds in an interest yielding account. So with Sterling Bank, you know, your money is safe. You're not passing it through any family or friend. You're also, you know, putting your money where you want it to really go. In opening an account with Sterling, it's not just real estate. You can pay for anything in Nigeria because it's an app, and you're absolutely in control of how your monies go. Because that's one major thing we noticed about Nigerians in diaspora. Another thing is the availability to low and middle income earners. So one of the things that we noticed about us Africans is that we tend to wait for the right time to buy real estate. But you know, there is never really the right time is now, because property does not get cheaper. You know, so there are many opportunities. My advice at all times is that you start from where you really are. You don't have to wait until you can buy the high end. Anywhere you find yourself, whether it's a land or you want to do land banking, you want to do some speculation, the best thing to do is just to start. Now, like I said, developers have gotten very creative. So there are many opportunities to pay by installments. It's also a good, you know, return on, real estate. All the homes that we're going to offer you, because of the locational advantage, you are assured of a real, return on investment. Then, of course, we would offer you real estate advisory services. Sorry, give me a minute. My laptop is hanging. Can you hear me, please? Okay, great.
Yes, we can.
So now, who is our target market? You know, we noticed, one of the experiences that I had for people that grow, for the elites, a lot of us grow up in areas that we feel that we can't live or own houses anywhere else. So housing is available for everybody of every strata, high and income, you know, middle earners, business owners, celebrities, captains of industry, young and fresh graduates. Now, we notice that a lot of us Nigerians, we have a way of grooming our children. When they become graduates, they still stay in our homes, especially in Africa. And then we now, you know, they are there for another 5 to 10 years before they now maybe get married or begin to do things of their own. We're encouraging a savings culture for children. We're saying that, look, don't wait until let them start from what they can afford, you know, so that at least by the time they get to want to marry, they can actually use that first home as a seed home to get the dream home they really want. Of course, we're targeting Nigerians in diaspora. So I would stop my share now. I want to quickly bring on board Ms. Sheung Yaya. I believe she's in the room. She's going to talk to us very quickly what opportunities we have with Sterling Bank, why Sterling Bank, and what the bank can do for us. And then one of the things that has happened in the last 6 months is that Nigerians in diaspora are compelled to have NIN and BVN, because without it, you can't open a Nigerian account. You cannot also, you know, you cannot also renew your Nigerian passport. So Sterling Bank is giving for free BVN to Nigerians in diaspora. I know that, all over the world, I think you have to do like a $50 to be able to get this done. So if you open an account with Sterling, BVN is free. I'm currently in the US now, in New Jersey, and I know that there are people that I'm meeting up today to kind of activate and open accounts for them. But we don't have to physically, we need to get that, to make that to happen. We are able to do it online as well. So if you really would like to do that, you can let me know, drop your request in the chat room. But I'm going to bring up Madam Sheung now, and there will be time for questions and answers. But just to streamline everything, I want you to please begin to write your questions and answers down while Sheung shares her thoughts. What, you know, the Sterling Bank can do for us as an organization. So Madam Sheung is a relationship manager for Sterling Bank in the diaspora. And so I'm bringing her on board now. So Sheung, you can please take the floor. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I don't know if anyone can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, good morning.
Am I visible?
Good morning.
Am I on video yet?
No, you're not on video yet. It's
Madam Chair, we can hear you.
Okay, let me just go on then. The video says it's coming up, but it's not coming up yet. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining. Thanks for taking out your time to be part of this presentation. Really appreciate your time. My name is Oluwaseun Yaya. I work with Sterling Bank, the diaspora business manager for UK and Europe. And other countries. What Sterling Bank has to offer for Nigerians in diaspora is simply coming to bridge the gap for a third party coming in between them to help them with terms of remittances, because we know majorly Nigerians in diaspora, their major or their primary focus when it comes to remittances is to send money back home to their loved ones, their family members, or for a particular project. And most of them do not want a third party coming in. They want to open the account themselves, and they want to have access to their funds themselves. So because we've actually heard so many stories, unpleasant stories, how a third party would help send money back home, and these monies are not given to the beneficiaries, or different stories surrounding maybe theft, or not, the money is not even getting there completely. So the bank thought it wise to set up.
Madam Chair, your network seems unstable. Can you?
Okay, let me know if it's okay now. I'm checking the network. Okay, is it better now?
Yes, it is. It is. Thank you.
All right. So the bank had to set up a group of team that understands the peculiarity of customers in diaspora, to set up a unit called the Sterling Diaspora Business Team for those that has experience with diaspora customers. And to do this, we had to also, the bank also gave the approval to process diaspora mortgage loans for our diaspora customers that wants to buy properties back home in Nigeria. And in partnership with that, we're also partnering with, we have different partners we're partnering with for properties to be purchased in Nigeria. So the maximum the bank is giving to diaspora customers is a maximum of 50 million naira. The maximum tenure is 10 years. The interest is 17.5, and the equity contribution is 30%. So if you have a property that you want to buy, you contribute 30%, while the bank facilitates 70% of the property. So that's how it works. And before we can do that, you must open an account. And secondly, we only give to employees, professionals. We're not giving to business owners for now. We must have checked your credit score to be sure you don't have other obligations that would we just want to make sure you have your DSR that is not too high, your debt service ratio is not too, something that can accommodate what you earn in a month or in quarterly, weekly, like that. We just need to calculate to be sure these customers can actually accommodate additional obligations to whatever they have ongoing. Like I said, we don't give to business owners for now, only give professionals, employees for now. And that's it. But for you to plug in, you need to open an account with Sterling Bank. All you need to do is go to the App Store or the Play Store and download the app called Switch by Sterling. Once you go through it, it will prompt you to sign up. So that will make you open your account, and within 2 minutes you're done opening an account. And once you're done, the first currency to allow you open is Naira. Then you can also open dollar, pounds, and euro. Other features coming up on the app that will be launching soon: the HMO, the car rentals, the shortlet rentals, ticket booking, and others that we are also bringing up on the app. But for now, it's to open accounts and to make transfers. That's quite easy. Within 2 minutes, you are done opening an account, and you're good to go to start operating the account within 24 hours. And also, for an account to be opened a Nigerian account to be opened, you need BVN. BVN is compulsory, but we also have the approval to get your BVN done free of charge, because once you're not in Nigeria, BVN is like £30 in the UK and like $60 or $50 in the US, if I'm not mistaken. But the bank has said, okay, as our own community service, we should make it free of charge as long as customers are going to open the account with minimum of 50,000 naira or its equivalent to have access to free BVN enrollment. And with this, we'll be able to get the customers have the free BVN enrollment after they have opened the account. So this is what the Sterling Bank has to offer, and this is basically everything we have to offer. So if you have questions, you have concerns, you can please ask your questions or drop in a chat box while we talk about it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you very much. So I am going to bring it on very shortly. Professor Nubi. Professor Nubi leads the Center for Housing and Sustainability Development at the University of Lagos. He has great passion for housing development, and he has done a study. I mean, he's a SAM professor in housing, and his experience, spans all over the world, not just Nigeria. Time will fail me to introduce him, but he's right here now because I know I had to pull him out of a function. I want to thank you very much, sir, for this opportunity to be with us today. So the professor just wants to give us his own perspective as an academia and somebody in the practice, what it means to own home in Nigeria and the opportunities that abound. So please, with an applause, I want to welcome you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you for being on this call.
Thank you so much, Madam Solid Foundations. It's a pleasure being with us today. And it's a pleasure being with people, my brothers and sisters in diaspora. I know Nigeria is on top of your heart. Nigeria is your heart. Most of my people in US, in UK, they even know more of things going on in Nigeria than those of us in Nigeria most of the time. They phone us to say, we had this. I say, we are here, we have not had. Because their heart is there. And one of those things that is their desire over the time of interacting with people in diaspora is actually to own a home in Nigeria. And that has always been the desire of many, not now, but right from time immemorial. That has always been the desire of our people. They have the desire to satisfy so many things as a retirement home. Because I found out that from my little experience in the recent time, Nigeria is a place of preference, probably due to culture or the climate we have. But at a particular point in our life, there is a time that we are thinking of retirement, and the first choice is usually Nigeria with my interaction. And with these are research outputs, research findings, that Nigeria is a preferred for so many things. We can do whatever. I have seen so many people that made it. They were chairs of universities. They were vice presidents of good big corporation in US and in UK. But when it comes to age 50, 55, and they are thinking of retirement, they begin to think Nigeria. If that choice would not be realized, probably one of those hindrances are because there is no house or a befitting house at home that is comparable to where we've used to while we are in Europe or while we are in North America or any part of the world. So many people also acquire houses for an investment, which is good. We've seen that return on investment is quite high in Nigeria, like Madam told us earlier on. The capital appreciation is huge, and many want it for status symbol. I have home in my country. I have a place in my home country. So, I mean, which is also part of what we come to this life: self-actualization, satisfaction, and all this and that. But the traditional method of meeting this need, the traditional method of meeting this need has always been very, very challenging.
You know what I mean? Like,
Most of the time, we send message to people at home, and we send money to them to acquire land for us and put up a building team to get bricklayer, get architect, get everything. It always ends up in disaster, disappointment, and it has caused a lot of family problems, family fracas, and all the rest. So, well, because the job were never done. If they were done at all, abandonment, poor quality, that when you visit such place, you wonder, is this where my hard-earned money had gone into? And so many families have scattered because of this. I know of many that when they came back home, probably they were sending money over the years to a particular uncle, and when they were shown their project, there were disappointment, there was sense of loss, there were sense of loss, of faithfulness. And so we have led people to say, okay, let's just, if this is the model, let's just stay away and remain where we are. But it's this is because it's only in this part of the world that an average person that wants to own a house, thinks of building. All over the world, an average person that wants to own a house, they buy. But in Nigeria, they build. In America, in Britain, in Europe, an average person, they buy. There is extremely rich people that do build. But it's reversed in Africa. But in the last few years, that story is being changed. Housing and real estate is being, in the last 10, 20 years, is becoming a commodity that we commoditize it, and you can eventually buy it just like you buy. And that's the direction. I kept on telling my colleagues, by the special grace of God, I happen to be the foundation members of the Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria. It started in my office. And when they started, it started like just a member building 10, 15 houses, 20 houses. But today, real estate development in Nigeria has gone really big, that people are now envisioning and delivering cities. Many of us are aware of Eco Atlantic, which is quite on the high end. But as we have Eco Atlantic at the very, very high end, we equally have affordable ones coming up in several estates, Alaro Estate, many along VGC, along Lagos Ekpe Express Road. Even as far as Enugu, we have developers. Kopian, my friend Kopian is doing a lot of great work in Enugu and Eastern Corridor. So many are doing a lot of work in Abuja and Abuja area, that today you can buy a house. So that's why that's why, and how do we still make that work? Then working with intermediary like Solid Foundation and Sterling Bank becomes, they really solidify this trust, that because it's a question of trust. It's a question of trust that has actually become more robust because of the introduction of technology. Gone are the days that you send money to someone, he's saying this development is under construction, and you cannot monitor. You can monitor. You can do real-time monitoring. Use Google Map. You can do real-time monitoring of a project that you are involved in. Probably you coming in as one of the off-takers, you can monitor the development. But this kind of arrangement of working with experienced real estate practitioner who is equally working with several and well-tested developers is the way to go. And then we can participate using different methods. We can participate by buying outrightly. All these are available. There are today opportunity to even be share owner, that you just buy into few weeks or months in the, just buy into few weeks or months in the year. You just buy into few weeks or months in the year. And you can be obstacle into a project that is not on at all. You can be part of a real estate company, a real estate investment. You can buy REITs, a real estate investment trust. You can be a part owner of a development company and not actually buy a physical building and buy just a unit and become owner of a big project. All these opportunities are available. And the truth is that no matter what is going on in Africa, or no matter what is going on in the world, Africa is the future of the world. And when we say Africa is the future of the world, Nigeria is the future of the world. We are the only country that will have 60% of our population between age 30 to 15. And that's the world. Every other part of the world, they have entered zero population growth rate. The population has become old. And that's why we have all these PR come to Canada, because they have aging population. But Nigeria is a vibrant economy. And I believe that with time, God will help us sort out the leadership crisis and the nation will really come up. But as we are struggling with that, that doesn't prevent us from fulfilling our dream. Working with tested people who is actually working with the bank, I believe that we can really actualize our dream. We can actually actualize our dream. The opportunities are there. Either we are building for retirement. Where I am now is I am retiring in 10 years' time. Where I am now is my retirement place. Where I am now is my retirement place. I come here once in a while. It's my retirement place in about 8 years' time. I'm 62. I will be 70. We retire in the university at the age of 70. But these are the kind of opportunities that are available for every one of us to look for a good and a serene location, spacious place. We have property as for investment in Lagos, which can bring in return, which can be bringing flow of income. But you're looking for a spacious place for retirement, you can actually key into any of these programs that are available if you work with the presenter of today, Madam Tung, the Solid Foundation, as well as the Sterling Bank. These are several opportunities in the country. There are several estates that we can key into, and we'll get there. Thank you so much for this opportunity of discussing with us. I believe that as a result of today's—
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
As a result of today's sharing, many of us will become homeowners in Nigeria, either for retirement, occupation, or for investment. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Professor Nubi. Time would fail me to do the introduction. Professor is a man of many parts. He's well-traveled and very experienced. So that explains why he's the head of, anything, housing development in the University of Lagos. So I want to thank you very much. I'm not taking it for granted. He was even at a function and he stepped out to just give us a few words. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. So we're going to be sharing some opportunities now. I saw some questions in the chat room. I'm going to be answering them as the presentation is going on. I want to invite Tade to the floor now to share some opportunities that some real estate opportunities that we can take advantage of. So Tade, can you please take the floor? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Soil Foundation, for having me. My name is Tade Adini, and I work at Mixed Africa. And today I'll just be sharing with you who we are about, and also letting you know that Soil Foundation is one of our partner agencies. So if you have further questions about our offerings, you can reach out to them. I'll just start by showing a 20-second video. This is one of our developments here in Nigeria. Then I'll now go into the presentation to explaining who we are and the opportunities you can access at Mixed Africa. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, 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 we can. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can see.
This is Lakaway.
Yes, this is Lakaway.
Hello?
Yes, this is Lakaway.
Okay. Okay,
Okay.
I know Lakaway.
All right. So we
Yeah.
we are the developers of Lakaway
Where is
Golf
that?
and Country Estate. So this is the presentation. So who are we? We're Mixed Africa. Mixed Africa has been in business for over 20 years, so over 2 decades. We are we've
Okay.
delivered 16,000 plus housing units to date since inception. We have projects in 8 African countries, and we have operating subsidiaries in 6 African countries. The span of our land bank is over 15 million square meters. So who is Mixed Africa? We are a leading urban real estate and infrastructure developer for Africa's growing population. We are a subsidiary of ARM Resource Management, which is Nigeria's largest independent non-banking financial institution. So where are we present? We're present in Tunisia, Morocco, Senegal, Nigeria. In Nigeria, we have operations in Lagos and Abuja, and we are also in Ivory Coast and Senegal. Then we have projects that we've delivered in Egypt, Algeria, and Mauritania. So what is our business focus? So we're a large-scale developer of real estate infrastructure and hospitality across Africa. So in real estate, we've delivered housing units, as you can see, in both residential and commercial. We also do infrastructure development, because all of our projects in our land bank is supported by infrastructure. So that's a road network, which it is second to none. You can see the video, that's from just one of our projects. So we pay high attention to infrastructure. That's why it has never ever flooded at our land bank in any of our properties. We have proper drainage system, and we've also sponsored projects such as the Lekki Toll project, the Lekki-Ekpe Expressway. We sponsored the development of that. So we handed over. Then also in hospitality development and management, we've developed hospitality projects, which include the likes of Morehouse Hotel, 4 Points by Sheraton, and Lakaway Golf and Country Estates. And currently we operate and manage the hospitality service at our flagship hospitality project, which is Lakaway Lakes Country and Golf and Country Estates. We have properties across the affordability spectrum. So from affordable housing, you can see we have projects that we've delivered and some that we've just launched to the market, which we're selling. We have mid-market, which includes Adiva, Farah Park, Express View, which is in Abuja. We have luxury, which is mainly in Lakaway Lakes. So as Lakaway Lakes, you can see, is hospitality. We also have people have their homes there, and they leverage from which I'll speak about briefly after this. So we also have luxury, which is focused in Lakaway Lakes. And we have commercial plots, which we sell to third-party developers that want to develop, as well as businesses that want to open, because what we're doing is creating a city. So this is basically what we're creating. We're not just building estates up and down Lagos.
Yeah.
Sorry? Hello? Okay. I'll continue. So basically, we're developing a city in Lagos State, which is called Lagos New Town. Lagos New Town is a place where people can live, work, and play. And as you can see on the right, there's a picture here. That is the master plan of the land bank that we have. The land bank that we have is twice the size of Victoria Island. So you can see it's a big, huge piece of land. And it's not just bush that we have there. We've started development there and we've actually delivered up to like 6, 7 estates right there. So there's a lot of prospect it has and we're still going to develop. So you can see we have the residential side, which is there. There's hospitality there. And there's also a commercial district where businesses have started buying to build. And you, like I mentioned, third-party developers also, because we have such huge piece of land, third-party developers, like some of the ones you know, have bought land from us, which are developing there. So we're creating a city where people can live, work, and play, and has the right infrastructure. So you know the challenges we have in Lagos in terms of traffic, in terms of drainage, in terms of all of these things, in terms of flooding. In this city, you don't have access to that. So it's a new district. All of our projects are sustainability focused. Sorry, there's a lot of noise in the background.
I'm coming.
Yeah. So
Mute people that are talking, please go on. Thank you.
all right. Yeah. So in our estates, we play a high focus on sustainability. So we don't just we pay attention to the environment. So we don't just build anyhow. We have proper planning, like I said, a master plan, and we have a lot of greenery, which obviously allows the air to be clean there. And if we have 14 man-made lakes within the land bank, especially even at Lakaway Lakes, because what does that do? It beautifies, as well as, apart from that, it's also a sophisticated drainage system. So whenever it rains, that also helps to drain, let the water flow back to the ocean, etc. So as you can see, so what one of, like I mentioned, like on the you could see on the master plan, these are the projects we have currently: Lakaway Lakes, we have Zuma Plains, we have Marula Park, we have Beachwood Park, we have the commercial plots, we have Adiva, and we have Townsville Estates. So starting with Lakaway Lakes Golf and Country Estates is Mixta Africa's exclusive community, which we regard as West Africa's best secret. So it's both luxury residential and hospitality developments there, and it is built on an 18-hole championship golf course, surrounded by 14 pristine lakes, and also trees and all of that. Then also within there, like I mentioned, there's also hospitality services. So a lot of people go there for vacations, they go there for the weddings, they go there for, we have large corporates that have gone there for corporate retreats and all of those things, because it offers those facilities. And why is that? Why is it important that I'm talking about the hospitality there? Because it offers huge opportunities for people that buy at Lakaway Lakes, because they have access to, if you're not at your property, especially those in the diaspora, you are not going to be there throughout the year. So you can leave your property. We have something called the rental pool, which is like Airbnb. So once you're not there, your property is on there and it makes money from you. This is facts and figures. People make up to 4 million per month by having their property there, because like I said, a lot of people go there, not just individuals, corporates that book for a long period of time. So you know that as your investment is there, you're also earning money straight away. And if you decide to sell in future, a lot of people have made money, because when we first started the estates, people were bought probably like maybe 30 million. Now the cheapest you have at Lakaway Lakes is about 70 million entries. So you can see and like Mrs. Tonu mentioned, real estate only appreciates. So this is just basically a summary. This is what the opportunity you can earn if you have a house at Lakaway Lakes Golf and Country Estate. So this is just a snapshot, real images. This is always the residential side. You can see the golf course. These are the available. So Lakaway Lakes on its own has products that you can buy into. You have the Lakaway Heights. We've sold out the first phase, and now you can see there's the Cove, which is selling at in dollar term $129 from $129. And then you have the Village, which is selling at $366 $1,000. Then you also have the Ule, which is basically an exclusive community retirement housing. We built this for mostly the older people that are in their retirement age. I mean, as an investor, you don't have to retire to buy it. What you can do is that you buy it and you can actually rent it out to the people that need the product. So it's also something that's sold very, very well. These are other opportunities in Lakowe Lakes. You have Park Villas, you have the plots, then you have Obudu Villa. I don't have enough time, so I can't really dive into the projects. But I like I mentioned, if you want to know more about the opportunities, you'll be able to speak to Solid Foundation. Then for affordable housing, we've launched the Marula Park. So our properties, typically we sell majority of our properties off plan, but now we've also started, especially this affordable housing project called Marula Park. We've started building up front. So that way there's even a stronger opportunity for mortgage. That starts from from about $24,000, that's 18 million. It's a gated community with solid infrastructure, recreation areas, electricity, perimeter fencing, etc. We also have Beechwood Park, which we've sold over 600 units. Right now we have a few units standing, which people can actually buy into and actually move into. I think we have about 8 more left in the inventory. So that's also something that people can buy and move into. And our other properties are typically off plan. Then you have Adiba, which you can buy plots from. So you can buy plots, and this Adiba is also a product that historically has increased in value. I can remember the very first time when it launched, it was selling about 7 million naira. Right now, it's selling starting from 31 million. So you can see value appreciation, and people are still buying, and it's still going to keep going up. And you can see the Adiba too has a long, huge leak that members of the buyers have access to. Then we have like I mentioned, bulk land, which commercial plots. So if you are corporate or any corporate looking to buy, they can buy plots and they can build, because you have the population and all of those things. Then we have Zuma Plains, which is a premium plot which has just launched. We have Farah Park. Then we have Express View in Abuja. That is already standing, so it's something you can buy also in Farah Park as well. So just to end, you can see our track record. This is a track record of what we've delivered till date from 2007. You can see in Morocco, 517 homes built. You can see here, we also developed the Oluwole urban market with over 600 shops. Then you can see in Egypt, etc. Then you can see also coming into 2015, Beechwood Estate, which is sold out. That's plots. We sold out over 1,000 plots. We have housing units in Farah Park 2 to over 200. We did Farah Park 1. Now Farah Park 2 is selling. I can see. So you can see we have a huge track record. We've always delivered, and we are a brand that you can trust. This is some of the commercial projects we've delivered. So that's everything for now in summary. Thank you for having me, Solid Foundation. And like I mentioned at the start of my presentation, they are a trusted brand and they're one of our trusted sales partners. So for more information, you can reach out to them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Tade. There are some questions in the
John, thank you.
chat room, and I'm going to respond to them one after the other. So Tade, don't be in a hurry to go. There's another development we want to introduce you today. So I'm going to be bringing on board now Mr. Benga from Chatel Royale. Benga, I hope you are ready for us. I've seen the questions in the chat, so I'm going to respond to them. I just don't want us to lose our trail of thought. So I'm going to respond to every question I've seen. I've noted them. Okay, so can we, Mr. Benga?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Evening from my side, because it's about.
Please, I've enabled you to share. Can please share your own.
Yes, I'm going to be
say?
saying that. I said good evening from my side.
Sorry. Mr. Tade, you can stop the share. Mr. Tade, you can stop the share. So
Okay,
that Mr.
yes, I'm about to do that. Okay, let me stop sharing.
Okay. Can you see my screen, please? Hello.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
we
we
can
can
see
see
your
your
screen. We can see your screen.
All right then. So I'm going to be starting with a few of our products. Once again, my name is Olubenga, and I'm going to be speaking about for Chateau Royal Real Estate. We are a developer in Lagos, Victoria Island to be precise, on Akin Adesola Street. If you're very familiar with the Bar Beach, the old Bar Beach, we're just about a few minutes walk away from the Bar Beach. And I'm going to be speaking about our products in about 5 to 10 minutes. That should be done as quickly as I can, anyway. So I'll be diving straight into our developments. We have 2 different developments that we're interested in, and we have been participating in the past few years. The first one is we are into housing projects, and the second part is we're into land as well, because we have realized over time that sometimes some people might not be so interested in buying the house itself. They might just want to buy a land that they can develop and build to their taste. So we give this option whereby you have the option of choosing between buying a house and buying a land. So I'm going to go quickly into it, and then our partner, our consultant that says Solid Homes Foundation. Should you have any questions, please reach out to her. She's a consultant for us. She has been with us for quite a number of years, and she knows our product like the back of her hands as well. So I'm going to be rushing it, and I'm going to be going one after the other, and I hope that you can catch up along with me as well. So quickly, I'll dive into the first test that I want to speak about. It's called Alivine Project. This one is located. This is located in Shongotedo. I'm very sure that you must have heard about Shongotedo, the place where the popular ShopRite is. Our property, the Alivine, is just located around there. Right now, these are the different kinds of typologies that we have in Alivine. We have the 1-bedroom apartment, the 1-bedroom maisonette, the 2-bedroom apartments, the 3-bedroom apartment, 4-bedroom terrace, and the 4-bedroom semi-detached. The 4-bedroom semi-detached. The 4-bedroom semi-detached has a big queue at the back of it. So what it practically means is that apart from the 4-bedroom that you get, you also have a big queue attached to it that you can give out to your maids and to your workers. And then we have the final one, which is the 5-bedroom fully detached. Just so you know, these are the breakdown of the number of units we have for each. The 5-bedroom detached, fully detached, is just 1 unit. I'm so not so happy to tell you that it's already sold out. The 4-bedroom semi-detached is already sold out as well, even though we have 4 units of it, but they're all gone. Then we have the 4-bedroom terrace, we have the 3-bedroom, we have the 2-bedroom, we have the 1-bedroom maisonette, and the 1-bedroom apartment. All of these have the number of units we have in it, and it's just about 73 in total. Now, this is one of the sweetest thing about this Alivine product. One of the sweetest thing about it is the fact that we are dedicating 40% of the land to greenery. What does it mean? Our idea is as simple as this. If you buy into any of these properties, you do not need to install an AC, because the cooling system of the environment should be able to cool your room enough without the use of an artificial or a man-made cooling system. In other words, the way we also designed each of the apartments, we make sure that the roofing or the roof to the floor is high enough. If you understand a little bit of science, hot air goes up and cool air stays down. Now, this is the idea we're trying to incorporate in all of our buildings. We want it to be as natural as possible, natural cooling system. Now, like I said earlier, some of the apartments are all sold out, which is the 4-bedroom semi-detached and the 5-bedroom semi-detached. They're all sold out. The prices for each one of them are there, but I'm not going to be going into that right now. Again, like I said, you can reach out to Solid Dome Foundations if you want more information. Some of the charges that are attached to it has been displayed. Again, you can speak to her and then she's going to give you more details. Now, this is another of our products. It's called the Dealers Bespoke. One thing you realize about our names is they are generic. We take so much time to name our products. The naming of the product is as good as the product, and it is located directly, the road directly opposite the Redeemed Christian Church of God, the old camp. So if you're very familiar with the Redeemed Christian Church of God, there's an old camp they used to use before they moved down to Shimawa. Now, opposite that old camp, there's a road there. We are on that road. Now, the idea about this is we are looking out to something to be like a country home. People who, peradventure, you go to the Redeemed camp and then, you just want to have a place to stay. You don't want to go around renting hotels and all that. This is a perfect place for you. Or peradventure as well, you like a cool environment with less noise, taking you out of all the bustle and hustle of Lagos. This is the perfect place for you. Now, the reason why this was brought, the reason why this property was birthed, the reason why the property was birthed is to take care of people who want to have a country home, people who want to have a retirement home, people who want to stay away from the hustle and bustle of Lagos, people who just want to have a time where, they can walk around without being afraid of, the crazy Lagos. This is a perfect place for you. And in this place, as you can see the prototype, we have 2-bedroom apartments, we have 3-bedroom apartments, and we have the 2-bedroom semi-detached. So in this place, we are more of the bungalow. Like I said earlier, this place is a retirement.
Excuse me, can we mute ourselves? I don't want to mute everybody so I don't interject, Mr. Benga. Thank you very much. Mr. Benga, please go on. Thank you.
So thank you very much, ma'am. It's a retirement home, it's a home whereby you can just go back to have a place to relax. And that's why we are not doing so much of a high rise. We are mostly concentrating. Yes, there are going to be some apartments here and there, but our main focus is on the bungalow. It gives you so much space for yourself. That little cozy small house with nice modern features. That's what we are selling in this place. Now, these are the prices as well. You can reach out to Solid Dome Foundation for more about the pricing and the payment plan available. So I'm going to go quickly into our landed properties as well. I'm just going to touch a few here and there. And if you want more information about them, you can reach out to Solid Dome Foundations.
Sorry, Mr. Benga, sorry to interject you one more time. A lot of people in the diaspora, I'm getting, direct messages. They don't know some of the locations. So when you are describing any property, give an idea of where the property is, Lekki, Ikoyi, on the mainland, please. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, ma'am. Okay, so for each of the properties, like she said earlier, I should speak about the location, but even as I go on the slides, the location will also be popping up right there. So for all those who can see my screen, you also be able to catch up with the different location. Of course, I'm going to be speaking about it as well. So I'm going to go first into the North Brooks. North Brooks is located in Mowe, is directly beside the Dealers Bespoke. So the idea is simple. If you do not like what we build, you can buy the land and build yourself. It's as simple as that. If you do not want, the bungalow, or maybe you don't like the apartment, or maybe you have an idea of something you
Hello, Mandy.
Since when you were little and you wanted to do that for yourself, look into the North Brooks in Mowe, and you can have a fantastic. You can have about 600 square meters, just for about 6 million. I'm not so good with the conversion to dollars right now, but I mean, I think dollars is about 750 thereabouts. to Naira. So the calculation can be easily done. But for 600 square meters, you can get for 6 million, you can get a 600 square meter plot of land at North Brooks in Mowe. This property is also located on the road directly opposite the Redeem Camp. These are the payment plan. We have up to 12 months payment plan, and you can catch that up as well. So I'm going to be going into Maplewood Fort. This is located in Ibejuleki. Maplewood Fort is located in Ibejuleki, just around the Dangote refinery. I know that we must have heard about the Dangote refinery and all that It's a very popular area right now because of the development that is coming really fast into that area. I can remember some few years back, a friend of mine bought a property in Dangote area for just about 800,000 naira. And then that was around 2015, 14, 15, thereabout. And when it was, the jack buying thing came into him and he had to leave to Canada, when he was going to Canada, he sold each of this property for about 9 million. So Ibejuleki cannot be overemphasized about the return on investment in that region. You can't speak about it enough because it's blowing out of proportion. Properties that are worth not so much back in those days are now worth millions and millions of naira. And as much as I'm concerned, it's one of the best places to invest in right now. So for Maplewood Fort, it comes with a government-approved decision, 100% dry land, and it's in Lepia town in Ibejuleki. So Lepia town is why you're going down towards like a Pine Tropicana after you must have left the Dangote refinery on your left. For those who might be interested in buying, you can reach out as well for inspection and all that, or virtual inspection, because I understand most of the people around there are in diaspora. So also there's a 12-month payment plan for that. And I'm just gonna go quickly into Maplewood Pearl. So Maplewood Pearl is another project that we are developing in Lagbo town, also in Ibejuleki. It is government approved. I can remember some few years back when this property was selling, it was selling even cheaper than this. And in a couple of years, it has appreciated so much. And it's selling right now for 4.5 million for 500 square meter. Now there's a 12-month payment plan for this. There's a 12-month payment plan for North Brooks, a 12-month payment plan for Maplewood Fort, and a 12-month payment plan for Maplewood Pearl. So these are the payment plan, just in case you have one or two things you are doing and you say, okay, maybe I can pay this money over this certain period of time. That is also applicable, and you can take advantage of that. And I'm going to bring us to the very popular the Castonia. Now, the Castonia is in Bogije. Let me also make this very clear to you. One of the reasons the Castonia is one of our fastest selling products is because on the same road where the Castonia is, there's a massive Lagos State project there. It's called Lagos Coastal City Scheme, something like that. I can't remember the exact name for that project. Now, this massive Lagos State project is going to house about 30,000 and 3,000 families. So it opened the road. It is just directly from the express road. Once you leave Lekki Epe Expressway to your right, you just drive all the way down. You see the Lagos State project. It is massive. It is. I can't speak about it enough. It's really big, and we are just directly opposite it. And this is why the Castonia is going for about 10 million for 500 square meter, and it also comes with the government approved decision. Just like the other ones, it also have a 12-month payment plan, which you can also key into and spread the payment for over a year. Now, one thing has now happened so far, while Ibejuleki is developing, the development in Ibejuleki has now spread into Epe. So we have as well properties in Epe. Let me quickly rephrase from the beginning. We have properties in Mowe, we have properties in Ibejuleki, we have properties in Epe, and we have properties which is the housing project in Shongotedo. So these are one of the various places we have, just in case the housing one, doesn't really catch your attention as such. You can move into buying lands and develop them yourself. So right here before us is Pier Ward 2 and is in K2 Ekpe. K2 Ekpe is one of the fastest selling areas right now in Ekpe, and is going for just 1.9 million for 500 square meter. It comes with a survey and a deed of assignment, 100% dry land as well. Just like other properties, they also come with a 12 months payment plan, and the 12 months payment plan is applicable to all. Now we have the McLaurens in Ekpe, McLaurin 2 in Ekpe. Now the reason why you have the McLaurin 2 is because we used to have the McLaurin 1 as well in Ekpe, which is 100% sold out. I do believe some of my colleagues were there today as well to do allocation for some of our clients who have bought into that property. So now, because of popular demand, we are bringing back to the market again McLaurin 2, another good real estate property in Ekpe. This is selling for just 2 million naira and with an initial deposit of 400,000 naira. After you have paid the 400,000, you can spread the rest to 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months. And also there are promos on this property. You can see, if you can see my screen, you see buy 6 plots and get 1 free. These are promos that, it's not going to be forever. They're just for a period of time. And so it's for the fastest buyer to quickly key into it so that they can take advantage of this promo as well. These are the payment plan as well. And I'm going to come quickly into Ruby Phase 2. Ruby Phase 2 is also in Ekpe. It also comes with a promo of buy 6, get 1 free. Now, the reason we are doing this promo right now is to make sure that people who are interested, who want to buy in bulk, can take advantage and motivate them to buy as much as they want. So it's also selling for 2 million naira with an initial deposit of 400,000. These are solid real estate investments that you can key into, that you can buy now to take advantage. Now, like the professor said earlier, there are different reasons as to why people buy. Sometimes you buy it because you are forecasting into the future, and you're thinking, well, in the future, if I buy selling for 25, and there are sometimes you are buying it because you want it as a retirement home. You want a place where you can, at the end of your struggles in life, you just want a place that is quiet, not too noisy, and you can just breeze into the city life and breeze back, just go back into your quiet area. This is the kind of place for you. And lastly, we now have another product which we call our Estate Invest. So peradventure, maybe you have bought properties and you have bought land, you have bought houses, and then you say, well, can I just put my money into a property? Can I just put my money into like an investment to you guys? And then, after 6 months or 12 months, I can recoup, my investment along with some profit. We also have such kind of estate invest for you. Our estate invest is an initiative aimed at allowing investors the opportunity to invest in real estate properties and enjoy the benefits occurring from real estate investment with possession of only an equitable interest in the property. Now, there are so many English words here. I'm not a man of plenty words or plenty English, and I'm just going to break it down to you. You have money, and then you think, well, I don't want to buy a house now, and I don't want to buy land, but I want my money to work for me. If I put my money in the bank, maybe I'm just going to get about 3 or 5% interest. Why don't I put my money as an investment in a real estate company? As they make profits, they share with me. It's as simple as that. So you put in the money, let's say for 6 months or for 12 months or for 24 months, however is comfortable for you. And then there's a certain interest rate that is attached to that. And at the end of the day, when you're getting your money back, you're getting your capital plus interest. And that's how simple it works. Now, we go with that money to trade. And of course, we all know how lucrative the real estate industry is right now for investors and as well for the developers as well. So at the end of the day, it's a win-win for the developer and a win-win for the investors as well. So these are different products you can look into, whether it be the housing, whether it be the land, or whether it be the real estate invest, all are open to you, and discussions can be taken further with Solidum Foundation. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope that I've been able to touch almost everything within the short time I'm giving. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to all of us, all of you here. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Benga. And I want to thank everybody that has stayed on this call for your patience and for your rapt attention. Mr. Benga, you can stop the share. Thank you. Okay, so there are a number of questions that have come up that I have seen in the chat room, and I want to start taking them up one after the other. But before I go on to the question, there are many ways that people can invest in real estate. So people have had experiences with renting homes, and they're like, maybe that's a discouragement, but that shouldn't be a deterrent to you from owning a home. You can do what we call land banking. You can also get into real estate investment trust, like the kind of thing that Benga was describing, the last thing he said. Another thing is joint ventures. You know, so there are so many things that we can do. I know there are different people. I've seen different questions, you know, directly to me, and that's why I made this comment. So the questions that I have in the chat room, I want to quickly react to some of them, and I'm going to yield the floor. As many that say they want to now talk and, you know, talk about the other, I mean, any other, maybe ask any other question, or they have a thought to share. So there's somebody mentioned in the chat room and said the issue of kidnapping in Nigeria, and also what plans that Nigeria has a very bad maintenance culture and so on and so forth. So this issue of kidnapping, just like, I mean, anywhere in the world, I'm in the US now, and my flight was delayed for 12 hours yesterday. I saw a bit of violence at the airport when people began to talk. I mean, it was a bit hot. I had to run away because I was scared somebody may come up with a gun. There's a bit of unrest all over the world, but the difference is the response of the government to it. But I can tell you for free, the news you see in CNN and all those places is not as bad as what it's happening right in Nigeria. A lot of these opportunities have been presented to you are gated communities. Just like in the Western world, you have the city center, you have the suburbs, and of course there are different ratings for certain places. The insurance is not the same everywhere because of the risk of violence. So in Nigeria, and I'm not saying it because I'm selling, I live in Lagos, and I've lived there for 52 years. And so there's certainly, it's not as bad as what it is. So every of these opportunities that's been presented to you, they are gated communities. But certainly there are safe places in Nigeria. It's not as bad. Now, talking about facilities management, what plans do people have? When I introduced myself, I ran through it very quickly because I want to keep us. It's not about me now, but I'm a facility management professional. So most of these projects that we're offering today, we usually go to see the site first, and we make our recommendations. We're not facility managers to all of them, but for some, we are facility managers. We're very particular. Now, if you notice, most of the products that we're offered to you have good infrastructure, you have the natural, the scenery of, artificial lakes and so on and so forth. The reason is because we have a lot of people for new homes, and of course, quality living. The fact that the pandemic has made people to work more from home. So anywhere you live, you really want to be comfortable. So the issue of facility management is a no-brainer now for any developer that wants to be along. People are setting up homeowners association, investment funds, sinking funds to ensure the place as at when due. Most contracts I'm seeing now have that clause in place. So I hope I answered that question. Then somebody also asked, is the mortgage open to Nigerians? Yes, certainly it is. Nigerians here can access that mortgage, and it's 50 million naira. You'll be profiled, and the interest rate is, of course, is double digits. You also can key into the National Housing Fund to be able to get a home. You can get a maximum of 15 million and pay till 60. So that is that. I'm sure that I'll be engaging many people outside this meeting. We can't answer all the questions here. Now, I've also mentioned, and somebody asked a question, is it better to buy a fully built property or to do off-plan? Off-plan investments is an interesting thing to do. in the sense that when the developer, starts to sell the project offline, you tend to make a margin before the project is finished. For example, the young man that approached me, I think about 2 years ago, and he bought a property while he was offline, a 2-bedroom flat for 2.3, that's about 2 Decembers ago. So he bought it for 23 million naira, paid over about 6 to 7 months. Now somebody else wants to buy in the same estate. I mean, this is about maybe 14 months later. Now the estate is now selling for, that same 2-bedroom is now selling for 40 million naira. And the man, I know another person that bought 2, he's now selling off 1. And so practically the other one is paying for the first one he bought. So there is an advantage when you do off plan. But off plan, you have to do with the right people. Because one of the things that has happened is that because of the inflation rates, developers are also challenged when there's a differential. So we always are careful to advise our clients and even the developers so that the issue of integrity is kept intact, that there has to be a threshold before you can make a review. And if you're making a review, there must be a cogent reason for it and you carry the clients along. So it has to be a win-win situation for everybody. Another question that was asked is okay, so I saw that maintenance culture. Yeah, so that's about it. So I want to yield the floor now. Now, another thing I want to say to us is that these 2 are not the only projects that there are in Nigeria. So I'm going to drop in the chat from our website a number of houses all over the federation that developers are offering that we have listed there. But peradventure you find one yourself and you want us to take a look at it, we'll be happy to look at it and give our honest opinion whether we are earning or not, So our own dream and desire is that when you're in the diaspora, we don't want people crying anymore. We want to ensure that what you paid for is what you got. So I don't know if there are other people that have. So somebody asked another question. What about security to the airport and other urban cities? Now, from the airport to Nigeria, well, I mean, it's relatively safe, I can tell you. I had to go abroad about a month ago, and my flight was for 5 a.m. in the morning. I was really scared myself. I thought it was bad, but then I left my home 12 midnight and I went for the trip. My driver came back, and on my arrival, I arrived 5 a.m. the next day. Everything was all cool. So it's not as bad as what we think it is, So I want to yield the floor now. If you have a question, you can please put up your hand in the chat room, and then or maybe you just unmute yourself and ask us the question that you have. Then okay. Mr. Adebanjo, do you want to go? You have a question?
Not now. It's just listening. Let me see, because although I have I have some little knowledge when it comes to property stuff. I mean, the real estate, but I'm just trying to listen to everybody's view. Let me see. Of course, I have your website with me. So if I have anything at all to contract, I'll go over the internet. Over the site and make my request.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Adebanjo. They would also drop my WhatsApp number, this call, so that if you have any questions. So, Madam Yaya is in the room about the Sterling Bank. So if you want to open an account with Sterling, you can please also contact us, whether, we can do it online, and if you're physically, I'm around the US for a bit. So we're also in Canada next week. We're going to do some onboarding there as well. So as many that can connect with us at this time, we'll be happy to open that account for you. So I don't know if there are other questions in the room. I see. Sorry, I think I saw a hand up. So I don't know, Timilola, have I answered your questions?
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
Okay, great.
Well, there are one or two
Okay,
other ones
so
I
do we
will
have any
clarify
more questions?
later, but yes,
Yes, you can please send it
Thank
in.
you.
I'll be happy to answer that question. I saw
hope you
some
heard me.
comments. I'm going to engage someone. There's somebody else I saw some comments from. I'm going to engage that personally. That's sorry, I got logged out at some point, so I think I lost some comments. But please, if I've not I'll be happy to do so. So kindly let me know if I left out any question unanswered. I want to keep us longer than necessary. Okay, so if you have any thoughts to okay, there's Yetunde's hand is up. Yetunde, please, you can take the floor. Yetunde, you can please
Yeah.
mute yourself. Let's listen to what you
Okay.
have to say.
I have always okay, so I'm interested in the properties that are not really in the city centers. I'm more interested in the ones that are far away from all the noise and all of that. And that's why I asked the question about the maintenance culture of it, because I know that although you say that they're gated communities, but how do they plan on maintaining, because the aesthetic is good, it's beautiful on paper, but how do they plan on maintaining that?
Hello, are you still? I can't hear you anymore. Can you hear me?
Yes, but she's talking about maintenance culture.
Yes. Okay, great. So
That's it.
yes, I heard that. I heard that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Madam Yetunde, I hear you. That's why I said that we're all different. So you said you prefer the persons that are not necessarily in the city center. That's a welcome situation. We can look at your request. But regarding the maintenance culture, I actually mentioned that most people now, there's urban renewal going on. So, for example, I visited all these locations before I brought them here, okay? And some of them have engaged us as, I actually am involved in facilities management as well. So I give my express opinion and advice on some of these things. And some of the developers have actually engaged us to do facilities management for them. One of the key things that we have said, that moving away from what we know, that if just build and move away from their projects. Anybody that wants to stay in business now has to have that plan in place. For example, Chatel Royal, we are their facility managers, and Mixer Africa, they are doing their own. I've been to the golf course. I saw what they were doing there. It looks very good. Now, so you are free when the contracts come. We're not going to shy away from it. Anything you're not very happy with from the beginning, you should at least take with notice every single contract and say this is what you want. I mean, what you would have. Some of them have their standards. If it's not what there are many options, and many more developers are getting very, intentional about the maintenance of their facility now. They are coming up with homeowners association to ensure that at least there's a good facility management company also in place. Then there are many settled organizations. You have UPDC, you have LSDPC. LSDPC is now doing a lot of joint ventures with developers, so it's no longer business as usual. So there are so many opportunities, but I can tell you for free, even those areas, the suburbs that you're saying you don't want to stay in the city center. I don't know if you can remember places like Allen Avenue, Surulere, Alagomeji. A lot of work has been done in terms of infrastructure, even since the days of Governor Fashola. A lot is going on. Even though Shodi has like what's it called now, like a train, a bus station, but that's a government thing. And that's why Lagos State government cannot do it alone. So they are also, encouraging developers to do joint ventures. I can mention a few. There's an estate in Lekki Phase 1 called Prime Water View. When the homeowners were not satisfied with what the developer was doing, they agreed, they actually took it off the developer and they're doing their thing themselves. So there's a lot going on. It's not business as usual anymore. I can tell you for free. Thank you. I hope I answered your question.
In addition to that, Madam Tung, sincerely speaking, I still drove around most parts of Lagos yesterday, and I myself was really amazed at the level of development that has taken place in Lagos. In areas that I was not opportune to visit in the last 10 years. A lot of things have changed. And to really drive it home, you enter so many estates in Nigeria today, in Lagos today. One will marvel at the quality of facilities management. the global standard has been benchmarked. Nigerians have traveled all over the world and they know what the people, what they need. Most of these gated communities in along Lekki, you get there, there's no difference between it and any estate in Cape Town, in Europe or in America. So the facilities management is there for this in this estate. They're there.
Thank you
They're
very
part
much,
of
sir.
what
So,
process. Thank you.
yes. Well, listening, sir.
I'm just assuring people the issue of lack of maintenance culture, we Nigerians, those who are acquiring houses now, there are people that have different mentality. They are different. The thinking is just outside the traditional thinking. Is the benchmark global practices, and one can be rest assured that your value is sustained, your value is enhanced in this estate. They will not run down like first tax and public estate that we were used to. Things have changed, and I can really assure anyone that wants to invest in any of these estates that things have changed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So another thing I want to say, somebody has asked a question and I want to quickly tie it to Madam Yetunde's question. The person has asked that, how do you manage disputes between developers and investors? So there is an association which Professor is one of the founders called Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria. They have trustees, they have executives, and the people there are accountable. So one of the assignments that we have is to ensure that when you want to buy into any development, we would at least do some background check on the developers. So people are beginning to get sanctioned, for doing things not right. I want Professor to collaborate that, not doing things properly. Then there is also an institute, International Facility Management Association of Nigeria. I mean, it's an international body, actually. Actually, I belong to that body, and I'm also a facility management professional, certified. So there are bodies now that are holding people accountable. In fact, Real Estate Developers Association, not everybody can join anymore. They are beginning to filter who the members are. The governor of Lagos State meets with them in and out of season. So I would like Professor to collaborate, but I'm sure that's happening. So to manage disputes between developers and investors, you have a body you can report them to. Number two is that before you sign any agreement, make sure you read everything and you are sure you are happy with what you're being offered. So that if there's any room for dispute, you can at least go back to what brought you together. That's the agreement. People often say that if you want to deceive a black man, and if you just put it in a book, because most people don't want to read. We are gonna do this, that you have an agreement and you're not signing. And one of the things that we want to do in this home ownership scheme is that as best as we can, be as transparent as possible. If we notice anything that is not, is not straight, we're not going to encourage you to key into that project. And that's true. Thank you. So Ogono, I hope I've answered your question. If you can please provide me your number. My WhatsApp number is on the, you can speak after this meeting. I want to know what your grouse is with that developer. I'll be happy to resolve it. So do we have more questions? Anybody else, please? Okay, so in the absence of none, I've kept up for over an hour. I was hoping we could do this in 1 hour. I'm not tired, but I recognize that this is.
I have a quick question, sorry, ma'am, to cut you short.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
In a situation where there is a problem with a property that was bought that was taken possession of by the federal government or by the state government for some reason or the other, what are the remedies that is provided for that homeowner? Because I've seen it happen several times where the government will take over a particular section of a property and say that, oh, I know there's a legal term for it, but I just don't know it off of my head. But they have the right to take possession of the land which they deem useful to the government. Did you get my question?
This sugar. Coffee. When? Okay. Okay. You change the plug. Just leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Down there. Not here. If you change that.
I'm so sorry. I got logged out.
Hello?
Question. Yes,
Did you
ma.
get my
About you
question?
said a government took over a property. So sometimes the government does that. Sorry, I got logged out. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear
Okay,
you.
great. Thank you very much for your patience. So what I wanted to say is that government could take over a property for overriding public interest. You are entitled to a replacement. So it depends on how you go about it. I mean, a client of mine had the same challenge and we're still on it. It may take a process. I know of another family, or their family of lawyers. Not only did they get their land back, they also give conditions to the, to the title they're going to be. The title must be in perpetuity. So yes, it happens that government will take over land for many reasons, but you have the right to get a replacement for your land. It is your right. No matter how long it takes you, you have the right to get it back. Legally, you are on the right path. So if it's something you've not been able to unravel, we can talk after this meeting, and I'll do my best to see how we can. I'm not a lawyer, but if we can get to the lawyers that can make it happen. Are you satisfied, ma'am? Have I answered your question?
Yeah, to an extent, but it's scary having to invest the time, the money, and everything into a property, and for it to be taken away, and not only taken away, and there was no adequate remedy provided also in exchange for that. So it's just scary with the knowledge of and that's why it would be best if we can actually get an assurance about a property that is being sold to us, that it's not going to be a situation where down like maybe 5 years or 10 years down the line, the government comes up with something and tells us that, oh yeah, you built on the
Okay, so
drainage
like I said
something,
in my yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so when I started my presentation, I mentioned something that land titling has gotten more sophisticated than what it was before. So C of O's now they are now EC of O's. You can, before you buy any property, I believe all over the world, you need to check the title of that property. So you can go to the land registry first before you make any investment to go and check what it is that is being sold to you. That's key. Now, there's also an indemnity clause on the part of the developer. If the developer is selling anything to you, there's a clause that says, if you lose anything, the developer should be liable. That's standard, So this thing you said about land being taken over from you, like I said again, I have a client that it happened to, we're on it, and I also have another one that their family of lawyers, they got it back and they even gave a condition that the title must be given to them in perpetuity, and that their land use charge annually should be fixed for 1,000 naira I mean, forever. So, you know, and I also offered that you could please let me know, and I'll see what we could do to, you know, assist you in getting your property back. I'm not a lawyer, but I know lawyers that can get it done.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Do you have any other questions? Does anybody have anyone else, please? Okay, so I want to thank everybody, in spite of the hitches here and there, for taking out time. Please drop your email if you didn't register, so that you can get the recordings of this meeting. If you have a particular request, maybe you have now a personal thing you want me to handle real estate wise, you can please let me know, and then we'll be happy to, you know, be of service to you. I want to thank everybody for taking out time to be with us today. And I want to, Ma, I also want to mention we actually have this event, you know, monthly. So we present every point in time. So all the opportunities we have cannot be presented in one meeting. But like I said, if you go to our website, you know, you can get, you know, many, many other offerings there. And if you discover one on your own, and you want us to help you take a look at it, we'll be happy to do that. What we're also trying to offer, one of our service offerings is that you don't have to come physically to Nigeria to get your real estate transaction.
No, Kalamabi.
That's one of the things. And I promise again.
Anama cannot come and do it.
Our promise again to you is that we'll always check out whatever it is that you're buying. So, Mr. Cyril, can you please mute yourself? I'm actually going to mute you now. So that's a promise that we have made. Then, so I want to thank everybody very much for taking out time to be part of this meeting. And so I'm about to draw the curtain, bring the meeting to a close. So I don't know if anybody has any other question. If you do, and you think, I mean, it's a private thing, you want to stay behind while other people are exiting, I will still be here for another 5 to 10 minutes. Thank you very much, everybody. And I hope you have a very good weekend and productive week too. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very interesting.
Thank you.
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you.
Like I'm in the Western world now, the network too can fluctuate. It's not only in
Never
Nigeria.
perfect.
Our plane was delayed for like 12 hours, you know, so I wasn't supposed to, I'm at the airport now. I was supposed to be in the comfort of my hotel room having this meeting, and I'm now here, you know, so we have to leave room sometimes for few. Okay, so I'm still here. Mr. Adekunle Oladapo, thank you for coming.
Yes, ma'am.
Madam Sheon, thank you so much for always being here. I'm sure our activations will happen. Mr. Sunday, I look forward to speaking with you and serving you. Mr. Lawrence, hello. Thank you very much, everybody, and have a good weekend. Thank you. Mr. Lawrence Afwakwe, thank you for being a part of this meeting. Thank you, Mr. Oluwole. Thank you, Roslyn.
Thank you. Bye.
See you, Auntie Roslyn. Thank you, Mr. Temilade Opeyemi. Thank you, YF. Thank you, Cyril. Thank you, Adewale Ajibade. Thank you, Adenike. Thank you, Galaxy S20 Plus. Thank you, Mr. Adebanjo, Mr. Lada Kolumile. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Stone.
Okay, let's see.
What did you do on my phone?
Okay.
Just disagree.
Mr. Lawrence, you have a question for me?
Hey, Mr. Tekola, thank you.
Thank you, guys. I keep getting locked out. I don't know. Get out of here. Okay, so I'm going to officially bring the meeting to a close. So we'll share the email for